You're over 40 and feel like you've lived just too many lives just to pick a niche. You keep hearing you need to simplify or get specific and niche down. But what if the real advantage was doing the opposite? Because when you spent decades learning, adapting, evolving, you become the niche. Yes, your story, your experience, your perspective, that's what sets you apart, not a keyword. See, I've seen this shift transform not just content, but entire businesses. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to use it to grow a channel that actually feels like you. You see, your life story is your biggest asset. And I'm going to help you leverage that to stand out on YouTube. Because 99% of people struggle to find a niche because they're looking in the wrong places. I'll guide you through a process to discover and harness the niche that's been within you all along. It's in here. And I'll prove it by showing you how you can create high quality content in just a couple of hours a week using a framework that aligns perfectly with your unique perspective. And to really help you accelerate this journey, I've created something special for you. It's a program called Courage Before Confidence, where I'll be in your inbox every day for 30 days, helping you build the camera confidence that you need to create your compelling content. If you're ready to take that step, and you really want to make your mark, you can find more about that in the description below. What if I told you the biggest mistake that most content creators make is trying to create videos for algorithms instead of humans? You see, the truth is your content should be crafted with a specific person in mind. Yes, your ideal viewer. Let me share my own journey with you. Over the last 10 years, I've walked the path that you might be on now. I've faced the same challenges, overcome similar obstacles, and all through it, I've learned what works and what doesn't. But the key was understanding who I was making content for. Instead of chasing trends and trying to gamify the system, I focused on creating videos that resonate with people like me. Over 40 with a wealth of experience and a desire to connect on a deeper level. My content is no longer about flashy edits or fast cuts. It's about quality, connection, and authenticity. That's what my audience want. That's what keeps you coming back. The takeaway here is simple. Every great video starts with a great idea. And that idea doesn't come from trying to outsmart an algorithm. It comes from knowing who your audience is and creating content that speaks directly to them. Your experiences, your stories, your unique perspective are what create your own blue ocean. A space where you don't have to compete with others who are fighting in that overcrowded red ocean. You're not trying to be the next Mr. Beast or anyone else for that matter. You're just carving out your own space where you are the niche. That's what makes your content truly stand out. This idea is drawn from the concept of the blue ocean strategy, a strategy that focuses on creating uncontested market space in the world of YouTube. That means instead of competing against the same space as everyone else, you're creating something unique and unmatched by leveraging what only you can offer. Because you are the biggest gift that you can give to this world. So now that you know that you are the niche, how do we get attention on YouTube? Well, it's quite simple, isn't it? And you've heard it from me before. Two things. And what if I told you the key to crafting those two things, that title and that thumbnail, isn't about mimicking big YouTubers, but rather about understanding what truly resonates with your specific audience? One of the biggest mistakes I see creators make is trying to replicate what's working for these huge channels like Mr. Beast, but only to be disappointed when their own videos barely get a handful of views. The truth is, what works for them might not work for you, especially if you're just starting out. Instead, it's important to look at what's working for those smaller channels. They're growing creators and they're closer to where you are right now. You see, these creators are often experimenting, they're taking risks, they're finding new ways to engage with their audience. When I first started focusing on my YouTube channel, I learned this the hard way. I spent so much time trying to model these big players, but only to realize that my audience was not connected with that approach. It was only when I started to study the smaller YouTubers, and those smaller successful channels in my world, and analyze what was working for them, that I began to see real growth. Look at my last 3 or 4 videos. That shows you this. It proves what I'm talking about. I realized that the titles should be a balance between what's already proven to work and what people are actively searching for. That's where the sweet spot is. using data-driven insights while still staying true to who you are and your own unique perspectives. Now, when it comes to thumbnails, simplicity is key. I've adopted a style that's not only easy to produce, but also effective in catching the eye. I use a picture of myself, yes, this beautiful smiling face with a clear expression. A background that is styled on my brand color with a few simple, bold words. You'll see a lot of these YouTube gurus now saying, make your thumbnail simple. Well, yeah, obviously, but everyone got wrapped up in the whole Mr. Beast, big contrast, big edit thing, didn't they? Well, this simple approach works because it passes what I call the glance test. If your thumbnail catches someone's eye in a split second, especially on a small screen like a phone, you've done your job. I also keep in mind the shrink test, a technique that ensures your thumbnail still looks good when it's shrunk down to a tiny size. And if it passes this test, you are on the right track. So, big text, high contrast, human face. All these elements make your thumbnail more relatable and clickable. The bottom line to this is, start by creating titles based on what's already working and what people are searching for. Once you've got that foundation, your thumbnail should be simple, eye-catching, and designed to create curiosity. It'll give your videos the best chance of standing out and connecting with your audience. So what's next? Well, if you're over 40, you've probably noticed that flashy edits, fast cuts, they just don't resonate with you the way that they might with a younger audience. Well, the truth is, you don't need all that noise to hold your viewers' attention. I know, because I'm getting pissed off with them and I've been making them. In my own journey on YouTube, I realized that the key to retaining viewers isn't in mastering every trendy editing technique, but in how to connect with them through my voice, through my actions, through my authenticity. It's taken me 20 or 30 videos to start to see the patterns in my retention graph, and what I find was eye-opening. Over time, with consistency, I've discovered that viewers were staying for the content, funnily enough, that felt real and unpolished, where I wasn't afraid to let my true self shine through, even if it meant leaving in a few mistakes. Actually, I've even started to emphasize the mistakes in my edit. You see, for us midlifers, the goal isn't to compete with fast-paced editing styles of these younger creators. I'm saying younger creators because previously I was very conscious that I was using the word kids a lot. Anyway, instead it's about scripting in a way that reflects how we like to consume content. Simple, direct, authentic. That's why I use a straightforward framework for my videos, which I've developed over time. The hook, the mindset, the story, the teach, and the action step. Here's how it works. The hook is a simple one-liner, grabs attention. The mindset piece is a simple question designed to get into the head of your viewer and make them think. Then you flow naturally into your story. Your story. This is where you connect with your audience on a personal level, showing them that you understand where they are coming from. And then next it comes to the teaching point. Just one thing that you want them to take away from this video. And then finally, the action step. And that could be a call to action like subscribe, smash the like bell, and all those funky stuff. Actually, do you know what? You can subscribe and you can smash the like bell and all that for me. So that's the script, but now we've got to make the video. Well, let's look at AVL. Audio, video, lighting. Let's talk about the technical side and how to keep it super simple. You don't need expensive gear to create a great video. So let's start with audio. If you've got a simple lav mic, that's great. It'll pick up your voice clearly and keep the background noise to a minimum. But if you don't have a mic, shooting in a quiet room like this one, soft furnishings can dampen the sound and make your voice clear and crisp. That's it for audio. For video, smartphone camera is more than enough to get you started. Don't over-invest. Consider framing yourself the rule of thirds so that you sit center camera. This way you can use it for repurposing. You know, you can make YouTube shorts, TikToks, Instagram reels, all of that. Personally, I don't believe you need to. I don't believe you need any of those other social channels. And you're probably thinking, huh, what? He owns a social media agency. But if you want me to tell you why on another video, comment below and I'll make that video for you. And then there's lighting. As far as lighting goes, you don't need professional lights. Natural light is your best friend. Shoot during the daytime, near a window, let natural light brighten up your face. The beauty in keeping it real and authentic and even a little bit raw resonates strongly with the over 40 audience. And really with anyone looking for genuine content these days. let's face it, by scripting your videos in this way and keeping your audio, video and lighting setup simple, you not only make your process easier for yourself, but you'll also create content that resonates deeply with your tribe, because you're keeping it real. However, if you're finding it challenging to articulate who you are on camera, or to build that camera confidence, I have just the resource for you. My Courage Before Confidence training program is designed to help you become camera confident in 30 days or less. With daily guidance delivered straight into your inbox. I've coached thousands on this already, and you can find more details in the description below. So after you've gone through the process of ideation, scripting, shooting, editing actually isn't that overwhelming. In fact, the beauty of being completely and unapologetically yourself means that your editing can be minimal and still incredibly effective. In my own videos, I found that embracing my authenticity, I don't need to spend hours perfecting every little detail in post-production. The goal's to tell your story, to give your audience an action step, and keep them engaged and make them think. When you focus on these essentials, your editing becomes a natural extension of the content that you've just created. One thing I've learned is that adding a bit of music in the background can subtly enhance the emotional flow of the video. There's a tip for you. I usually find a track that fits the tone, turn it down to about 5 or 10%, and then let it play softly in the background. This not only helps smooth over any imperfections in your delivery, but also adds a layer of polish that makes that video feel a bit more cohesive. Another simple technique I use is incorporating some jump cuts. Shows the transitions in a thought or keeps the pace moving, but beyond that, I add emphasis with some pop-up words or graphics and the occasional bit of B-roll just to help drive that message home. For instance, if there's a key point that I want to highlight, I'll just create a graphic in Canva, add an animation to it, pop it on a transparent background, and just overlay it on the video. This adds a bit of visual interest without requiring huge, complex editing skills. What's great about this approach is that it's real. It's raw, it resonates with people who are tired of all this overly polished, scripted content, and we can all do it, so it feels more connected. Your imperfections, whether it's a stutter, a pause, or an unscripted moment, can actually enhance the authenticity of your video. People connect with real people, and that's reflected in everything from your thumbnail to your final edit. When you keep these imperfections, you're not just editing a video, you're telling a story that's uniquely yours. Remember the blue ocean I referred to Remember the blue ocean I referred to earlier? The key takeaway here is keep your editing simple, focus on the essentials. Let your authenticity shine through, and don't be afraid to leave in those little imperfections that make your content feel more genuine. This approach not only saves you time and a whole production. I'm getting tired now. This approach not only saves you time but keeps your whole production to a couple of hours a week and helps you connect with your audience on a deeper level. By embracing raw and real, you'll find that editing becomes less about perfection, more about enhancing the story that you're already telling. Remember earlier when I mentioned that your life story is your biggest asset? That's absolutely right.
So you are the niche. Now it's time to show up like it. If the camera still makes you hesitate, even for a split second, please watch this just here. It's a 2-minute-a-day method that helps thousands get confident on camera fast. No overthinking, no fancy gear, just results. So click here and let's get started now.